Okay, so we'll start off with a little bit about like yourself, right? So just like about your founding story of Archibald.
Okay. Um, the company was set up back in 2016.
Mhm.
I came to Dubai from United Kingdom. Okay, then you can cut out anyway. So where I used to work as a coach on a local club,
Mhm.
but then I decided to change the location, and then I ended up in Dubai, where I briefly worked for one company, and then started my own business in 2016.
Mhm.
My first location was Jebel Ali Recreation Club. This is where it all started, and since then we have grown and started providing our services within the communities. So we work with Nahil, with Dubai Properties, with well, that's enough at the moment. Dubai. So basically, we are operational within communities. We started off with tennis. We also provide different racket sports services like squash, and recently we've added paddle to our services. We also started our swimming academy last year, which we've been working on it for the last few months. What else can I say?
I think that's great.
Apart from
Yeah, that's
but
pretty
same old,
good. Yeah.
same old. Yeah, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think
but
just
we will have to edit it anyway. So
yeah, yeah.
you do
I
your
was just
job,
anyways
and
going to yeah, just converting that into text. So we'll just turn it out. Don't worry. Just one or two challenges that you probably faced while you started off.
okay. So I would say, well, as always, it's the location. It's very, very crucial, when you run this business, and making it very accessible and for the customers, and easy to get to, and because basically how it works, within UAE, it's all about convenience, because of the distances that have to be covered, for the students. So this was one of the first challenges, but I think also putting forward the message about services, that it's all about the quality of the service, and one of our challenges, I think, well, that's why we started working together. It was the having really organized system, but it's very, very simple to use, for both sides. Us, in terms of the scheduling the lessons, and then make it easy for the coaches, so they can just focus on their job on the court, and the same thing for the customers. So it's very there's transparency in terms of what we do. There's other notifications for the lessons, and information about the payments and classes being taken, and so on. So this has made the work really, really easy for us, as we don't have any, and well, as a coaches, any contact with in terms of the finances with the students. Everything's done online, and so everyone can just focus on their job, performance on the court. So yeah.
Yeah. And how would you feel if you could no longer use Classcard?
How do I feel one more time?
How would you feel if you could no longer use Classcard?
Sad. You want a nice answer, or uh, I don't hang on. I can always be spiteful. I can say that I can go and find a different provider, but I will never do it. I'm very loyal.
Yeah.
Um, how would I feel if I stop using Classcard? Well, challenged a little bit, if you want to use this word, because it makes it very easy, to set everything up in terms of the logistics. So, well, I don't know how to answer this question really. How would I
I think
feel?
that's fine. Yeah.
It's
And
but you know what I'm trying to say.
yeah, yeah.
It does make a massive difference, because since the beginnings, when you've introduced the system, and how it has developed so far, it has, helped us as well. We keep using more and more features from the system, which makes it really good. And we keep adding, you know, to our services also, you know, the features you have, but those we haven't used before, which are very helpful. Yeah. So especially in terms of informing the customers, the parents, you know, them having the access to information about the progress and lessons and so on. So yes, it's been rewarding, and yeah, I would be crying.
All right, cool.
No.
Just one more question. I mean, one more question before I obviously take it through a rapid fire, which is my favorite part.
Yeah,
So,
that's right.
so what type of businesses would you like say would make good like Classcard customers? Like what businesses would Classcard make sense for?
What type of business?
Yeah.
I'd say, you know, it's well, judging. Well, I know everything, you know, but where you came from, you know. So I think, you know, that the focus should be on the sports, you know, where you have a lot of activities. Not only this, you know, it's the events, and now I know you work in anything to do with the management of the facilities. So
Got it.
this is where it should be taken to, because I know you started off with education, you know, like scheduling the classes for different lessons, you know, which was maybe, I would say, the word a little bit more static.
Mhm.
But here you've got activities, you know, in those what would I say? How would I call it? Professions, or I mean companies that you're dealing with it, but you know, it's a little bit more developed in a way of the services they provide. You know, even there's just one thing. For example, let's give you tennis.
Mhm.
There are different routes. You know, you've got your tennis classes, but you can break it down for different types. You know, depending on the ages, depending on the levels. Then you have the competition side of it. Then you can have the events and so on. So I think, you know, it just also opens, you know, for you guys a little bit more in terms of offering, you know, from your side, you know, as a system, you know. So you cover all these different little aspects that are very useful, you know, for the end user. So yeah,
I was
you
gonna
know,
ask you
you will know
what
what
yeah. I was going to ask you what else can we solve for, but you answered that, so I want jump into that.
What
I was going to ask you what else
what
can we like build into, but you already mentioned like rental and so
jumped into it.
yeah. So then, you know, cool. So I have like 3 or 4 like rapid fire questions, and I'm going to start. Okay, so just like answer in like one sentence or one word. What will make sense for you?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you're a coach, but if you had to name your favorite coach, who would that be and why?
You're asking me about my company?
No, like as a coach, you also coach as well, right?
As a
So
coach.
who was your favorite coach, and why was that person your favorite coach?
Okay, let's stop here. You're asking me about the coaches I've met in my life, not as a, you know, some sort of a person or like up to from TV and
No. Like yeah, the coach who you met in your life, like probably who
Mhm.
coached you, or like anyone who you learned something from.
Okay, so here we go. I can mention one person who actually really helped me in to understand, you know, and learn a lot about well, the industry, not only about the teaching the sport, but also about the business side of it. Is Brian McFadden, who I worked for in back in UK in the East Dorset club, which was based in Poole. Yeah, this was the best I think experience I had for me being a coach working for him and learning, you know, loads from him, and being given also the freedom, you know, to implement, you know, the programs and ideas I wanted to do. You know, he was very helpful, you know, very supportive all the time. And yes, and at the time I spent there, I did learn a lot, you know, by watching him and listening to him and exchanging, you know, ideas. So yeah, this was very helpful. The most memorable time, you know, and up to date, you know, I still learn a lot from other guys. But if I have to mention, you know, one person, you know, when it comes to my, you know, personal development, this is the guy. Yeah. So
Yeah,
he was my mentor. Yeah. There's
And
more guys, but this is,
yeah,
but
that's
this
fair,
is the
fair,
person, yeah.
fair. And where do you see Archibald Sports Academy in 10 years?
If we're talking about the local market, okay, if we're talking about as a business question, I would be happy to have developed, a network of teaching, that's what we do in communities. Also, introduce, our services at schools to a certain extent, but this is for UAE, and hopefully, well, we're giving it 10 years, move with some of the business maybe to new countries that are opening their borders, like, maybe to Saudi, but I'm also thinking about Europe. I would like to go back to my roots, I think I'm mentioning it will be Poland, at some point to start, start a tennis, or open a branch in Poland, and maybe implement some of the ideas and programs that have been successful, abroad. So something new, to work with with schools and maybe some, different venues. But yeah, so a steady growth, I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you know now that you wish you knew when you started?
Okay. Do things one step at a time. Yeah. So this is the best lesson I've learned. Without rushing.
And
So
yeah. What's your favorite pastime or book recommendation?
you want me to elaborate on the previous one?
Oh yeah, you can go
Okay,
ahead.
I will.
Yeah,
I will elaborate. Okay. From if we're talking about starting here, I think what I've learned, that it's sometimes it's better to do things a little bit slower, although you get these opportunities to grow faster, and just as I mentioned, do it step by step, with small steps, just like with tennis, because then it allows you to grow in a way you want it to grow. Yeah, because sometimes you jump into something, and you think might a little bit too fast. Yeah, so a steady growth, it's better. This is what I've learned as a business person. Than that I would approach maybe differently. Yeah. So this is one thing you can mention it, between one sentence enough. And what was the last question?
Yeah, like a book recommendation or a favorite pastime.
A book recommendation. God, I stopped reading, man. Hang on.
Or anything, like what do you do for your pastime? Like what's your favorite pastime?
What's my favorite pastime? You can put for myself. All right, put cooking, just for fun.
Okay,
When
so
I
just
get
mention your
time, yeah.
favorite dish then. Like what do you like cooking, and then that'll be fun to put.
Oh, what's my favorite dish? Man. Oh. No, I said that I'm cooking. I have to come up with something, no?
Okay, we can skip that. No worries.
Yeah,
Okay.
skip it. You
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to give me some time. You
yeah,
know that I'm not the best person for these interviews.
yeah. Okay. On the next question. Next
It has to
question. My
be.
last
Yeah,
question. Yannick Sinner or Rublev?
Yannick Sinner.
Yannick Sinner or Alcaraz?
Yannick Sinner.
Okay, cool. Awesome. That's all. This was fun. I don't have any more
We will
questions.
have we will have to edit this one big time. But you write it down. You send it to me, and then we'll go for it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you need to walk on water. When you put